fear, suffering, and humanitarian distress haunting the victims of conflict, drought, famine, flooding, wildfires, cyclones, deadly disease outbreaks, and other disasters are the outcomes of sustained violation of the most essential principles and the systemic neglect of humanity's dearest values, which lie at the very foundation of the UN Charter.
Naam, Rais William Ruto akiweza kuzungumza katika nchi ya Marekani, huku akiweza kuzungumzia changamoto ambazo zinaweza kuyakumba mataifa ya Afrika na vile vile mataifa ya ng'ambo. Karibu sana ndani ya SM Trends. Hakikisha kwamba unazidi kutufuatilia kwa faida ya kuhakikisha kwamba unapata hizi na stories zingine nyingi punde zinapotokea. Rais William Ruto akizungumza katika nchi ya Marekani ameweza kusema kwamba wakati kama huu ndio wakati ambapo mataifa yanafaa kuja pamoja ili kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba yanashughulikia zile changamoto ambazo zipo na ambazo zinazidi kuhakikisha kwamba maisha yanadorora kwa wanadamu. Rais Ruto ameweza kuzungumzia matatizo ya nchi ya Haiti na vile vile kuweza kuyaita mataifa hayo kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wanasaidia nchi hiyo kuweza kupata amani na vile vile wananchi wa maeneo hayo kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wanapata maisha sawa na watu wengine. Hebu tupate kumsikiliza Rais William Ruto hapo.
To the future of our aspirations is totally unacceptable. The existence of this inimical clique of geopolitical formations defies the fundamental values and principles of the UN system, and its operations have led to alienation, mistrust, insecurity, and exclusion of and among peoples, nations, regions, and continents. Moments like now place the nature and purpose of multilateralism under sharp scrutiny for history's honest examination and judgment. If any confirmation was ever needed that the United Nations Security Council is dysfunctional, undemocratic, non-inclusive, unrepresentative, and therefore incapable of delivering meaningful progress in our world as presently constituted, the rampant impunity of its actors on global scene settles that matter. The environment of pervasive mistrust between the global north versus the global south, developed versus developing, rich versus poor, polluters versus victims, and net emitters versus net victims, which complicate and frustrates multilateralism, is the inevitable result of promises not kept, commitments not actualized, resolutions not honored, and principles not observed. Multilateralism has been failed by abuse of trust, negligence, and impunity. A year ago, I stood in this assembly hall to call upon the global community to transform the UN system in order to achieve a consensus-driven, rules-based multilateral system which works for the people of the world in their diversity. It is time for multilateralism to reflect the voice of the farmers, represent the hopes of villagers, champion the aspirations of pastoralists, defend the rights of fisherfolk, express the dreams of traders, respect the wishes of workers, and indeed protect the welfare of all peoples of the world. In the face of the most urgent crisis of our time, it is now clear that the international community has fallen seriously behind in meeting its targets in both climate action and the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, as well as their underlying enabler, peace and security.